So yesterday I picked a mission from our friend Hal Jordan, and I forget the other one. It doesn't matter. We'll come back to those NPC afterwards. So basically, there's two weekly missions that we can play on this map. There's the Metal Massacre, where we have to defeat 218 people, and there's the Rift Up, where we have to close 82 Dark Multiverse Rift in Gotham. So as you can see, they both give 8 Dark Metal coins, and they give a large loot metal cache. Oh, actually, oh, not this one. So this one gives them some solid metal exobyte, and the other one gives the metal part 1 large loot cache. So let's do that today, because why not? Now let us switch to our DPS official look. If you're wondering, I have 4 armories. This one is pretty much labeled as DPS. This one is also DPS, but with this one is also DPS, but with a few shields to be able to get more survivability. And I'll show you the other two in just a second. This one is also DPS, but it's my Kryptonian powers, sort of. And last but not least, we have my controller Armory, which is pretty much whenever I need to play as a controller, usually in groups, I'll usually use this Armory. So let us switch back to our DPS. Not ready just yet. And let us continue our missions. So technically it's simple enough. We have to defeat 200 and something NPCs. Early on it's always a bit more challenging. You don't know exactly where you need to go. And we have to close those little portals. Let's close that one too. So ideally you want to find a place where there's a whole bunch of NPCs that you can defeat, and where it won't take you too long to go from one group of NPCs to the next. Like if you go someplace where the NPCs are spread all over the place, just traveling from one group to the next takes a bit of time, as you see. But if you can find a place where a whole bunch of NPCs are nearby, and if they respawn quickly enough, then you should be able to just go around very quickly, defeat a whole bunch of NPCs, and defeating 218 NPCs that way shouldn't be too difficult. Sadly, as you saw, my time bomb was really badly timed. Ideally, you want to cast it as early as possible. And even then, there might be times where you're going to defeat all the NPCs before Time Bomb even does a single point of damage. It's sad, but it happens. And as you can see, there's Aquacute who's asking for people to play the 218 mission. It's something that most people will try to do. They'll form a group, and then they'll fight enemies until they completed the mission. The sad thing is that sometimes people will join such a group, and they'll just stay there, not doing anything, and let everyone else do all the work. It's sad, but it happens. Personally, I almost prefer to do it by myself. It's usually relaxing. You fly around, fight NPCs, take it easy, relax. There's a few other hiding over here. Oh. That's a waste of a supercharge. Oh, we're going to compete against the other players, I guess.
Oh no!
Oh, even better. Sometimes some of those portals split into 3 smaller portals. So when that happens, you enjoy it. We could stick around, but let's travel around a bit, because why not? As you saw, some of those NPCs will pull you, so you have to be a bit careful. And sometimes they'll pull you multiple times. Even with my quantum tunneling yesterday, there was this one NPC who didn't want to let go, so I had to pretty much defeat him in order to be able to leave. But he kept on pulling me towards him.
Is all this really happening? I'm not sure if that was awesome or awful. That was worse than being in prison.
Oh noes! I guess our friend let me close it because we shared the objective, which is fine. Well, when that happens, there's no reason to fight over the objectives. Sadly, sharing, a lot of players have a hard time with that in DC Universe Online, or I should say a lot of players, period, have a hard time with that. So this weekend, you guys can expect a whole bunch of videos about the Metal DLC.
Oh no!
You see there's a whole bunch of... Oh, these are defeated already. There's a whole bunch of portals all over the place. So if you don't like to travel the old-fashioned way, you can use those portals to teleport where you need to go. Personally, I kind of like the traveling part, but I understand if some people don't want to travel. So as you can see, there's various different NPCs waiting for you. As you see, there are people shouting for the Titan's bounty. I don't think I have this bounty just yet, or do I? I guess not. I suspect I'm gonna have to play probably this mission first, and then the two 8-player missions for, and then I'll probably have access to the Titan bounty. We'll see. I would strongly suggest don't do what I'm doing. Try to get access to the bounty as quickly as possible, and if you have to, farm it as early as possible. In the early days of a DLC, there's a lot of people who will be farming those bounties. Sadly, later down the line, people might not do the bounties as often. For example, for the Teen Titans DLC, I don't know if it's how difficult it's going to be now to be able to get people for the bounties. But sadly, the bounties have a shelf life. After a while, no one wants to play them anymore. So if you want to have certain feats, like if there's a feat for defeating a bounty 100 times, you want to do that as early as possible if you care about feats. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to gain access to those feats later down the line. And as you can see, the NPCs are using the counter mechanics. It's usually has always been the case, but I have to admit, completely forgot about that. Oh. So again, you just go around, you chillax, close your portals, fight the NPCs, and life is good. So as you can see, there's always people asking to do the 2018 mission. The 218 mission, sorry. Oh no! She stole our portal. So sad now. So if someone takes your portal, no worry, there are more. I wonder who this little guy here is. It's probably an NPC for one of the missions that I don't have right now. It happens. So obviously we'll probably finish the portal mission quite a bit before the other one. I've seen some people not too happy about the mission with the portals. Personally, I don't mind those missions. It gives me an opportunity to be able to just fly around very smoothly. Although you don't really need missions to do that. At some point I was doing that when I was farming for exhibits. I was just flying around very smoothly or farming for collections. That will do that too. So usually when you farm for collections or exhibits or anything else, you just fly around very smoothly, look for what you're looking for. Oh, portal here. Oh, 4 of them. Don't think I've seen 4 of them, or if I did, I didn't pay attention. But that's a nice bonus. So it will help us get our 82 a bit faster, which is nice. Obviously, if you do it with a group, it'll be much faster. There seems to be one up here. Oh yeah. I thought I saw something here. I guess I'm crazy. That looks a bit different than the rest. I wasn't able to defeat him mano a mano. The other guy wanted to participate, which is okay. As you can see, we're up to 67. It'll take us a while to get to 218. But we'll get there slowly but surely.
Help!
I have to admit, I'm very happy that we got a new DLC. It had been a long time, and I was starting to be a bit desperate for a new DLC, I have to admit. I should have block break him. Eons ago, I was a block breaker spammer. There's a few reasons for that. The first one is that a lot of players were spam blocking. So if you were to spam block break like this, you would pretty much interrupt. You would block break them. There's some players who that was the one strategy: hold the block button and hope you somehow don't defeat them. So that was one of the strategies. There was basically two main strategies. Some would spam block, or they would try to escape if they saw that they could not defeat you. So they would try to flee. If you knew those two play style, I suppose, or those two strategies, then you could defeat 90% of the player base easily. And then with the 10% player base that was left, you just figure it out as you fought them. Sometimes you'd realize that some players would spam certain powers or certain abilities. Once that happens, then you can anticipate what they do a bit better. But again, 90% of the time they would spam block. So for quite a while, probably the reason why I started using Ant Blasters, I became a spam block breaker. I would spam block break quite a lot. And even with NPCs, there were, strangely enough, some of it wasn't just players. Although players behaved like that a lot, there's a lot of NPCs somehow that were also spam blocker. It hasn't been as much an issue for quite a while, but around the time of a bit after Origin Crisis, or maybe around the time of Origin Crisis, or a bit after when it was Sons of Trigon. It was easy to use. It was tempting to use block breakers to block break the NPCs that would spam block. I should probably upgrade my loadout a bit. I'm gonna have to give it some thoughts. So we're almost at the halfway point. And I think we're done with the portals. I haven't seen one in a while. Ultra Matter completed a feat. I'm so proud of him. And if there was a time to use a supercharge, the time was now. Yeah, I probably didn't really need it, but there's no reason not to use it sometimes. That little guy was a bit tougher than the rest. I wonder if he's part of one of the missions. So we're about almost halfway there. So let's see. Oh, I think I saw something up here. Oh yeah. If you guys want to make money, when there's a new DLC, sell the collections that you find, and farm for collections. When there's a brand new DLC, that's the perfect time to be able to get a lot of cash for your collections. So there's a whole bunch of them here, so I guess we'll try to stick around here. I guess we just have to be a bit careful not to pull too many of them at once. Sadly, sometimes a mistake that I see a lot of new players do is that they attract way too many enemies, more than they can defeat. So if you're just a bit careful, it's fairly easy to avoid. Although at the end of the day, it's not a big deal. They defeat you when you come back. But if you're trying to avoid that, if you're a bit careful, get them 3, 4 at a time, there should be no issues. Oh yeah, I think I know where to go. On the Earth 3 map, there was a few places where you could go in order to be able to defeat NPCs fairly quickly. So let's see if it works here as well. Usually around here there was a whole bunch of containers that would respawn NPCs fairly quickly. I guess we could do that here without the containers though, which is fine. The containers were not needed at all. So if we can get a whole bunch of pieces at once like this, it should be able to speed up the process a bit. Ideally, as you can see, I kind of like to bunch them together. Makes them easier to defeat as a group.
Help! Help!
Oh.
Run! Run!
So you see our friend, he's running away with like a whole bunch of NPCs running after him. Let's summon our friend, the bat.
Don't do something you'll regret.
I did not really need Batman, but oh, I guess we're not done with the portals. Oh, we're about a little more than halfway with the portals. So I guess sadly before long everyone will know that this is the spot to go. Oh well. We'll find some other spot. Not sure why there we go.
Look out! You've got to stop them! Help!
Help! Help!
I'm trying to find a good spot.
Oh my god! Do something!
This stuff can't be worth much, can it? That's cold. So. That's good.
There seems to be a lot of NPCs here.
The boss wants
Gotta
his metal
keep cool.
so I'm freezing you out. Huh. Ah.
Gotta keep cool.
Huh.
So sometimes you'll team up with other players even if you don't really plan to. Oh, she wanted it? Okay. And sometimes if you have enemies nearby, just use your shield.
You'll regret that!
It'll be good.
Now, this metal's ours. We're finished here.
There we go. I didn't notice how many NPCs I still needed.
Why does she care for the metal? I know better.
Oh, I think we might be done. So we only need the portals, so let's just look for that. We'll leave the NPCs for those who need it. Oh,
I'll send you to the cool Get me an ice pack.
I guess we won't have a choice here. Maybe. No need to fight NPCs, we don't really need to fight. As I mentioned, if there's NPCs nearby, you activate your shield. I don't want to be able to stop you from clicking on your objective. And we're almost there. As your leader would say, stay on target. Stay on target. Yeah, I guess you have to be a classic Star Wars fan to get the reference. Although I'm pretty sure they used a similar line in Rogue One with the Red Leader. So obviously if you're just picking up the portal, it does speed up the process if you're not fighting every single NPCs you see. It should be marks earned easily enough. And it's once a week, if I recall correctly. We'll see. We'll check when we go back to see the NPC in a bit. So if you want to get away, quantum tunneling, perfect for that. It allows you to move away, it protects you from the evil NPC trying to attack you. I love that ability. There is a version that our friend Cersei has, that the Legend version of the character has when you play Legends PvE or PvP, doesn't matter. Whenever you play with the Cersei Legend, she has a teleportation like that. That creates also a copy of herself. I love that ability. I wish we had that in the game. For players, I mean. Maybe someday. Oh, almost there. There we go. So let's go back to see our friend Hal Jordan. Oh, we're not done. Oh, I'm so sad now. So let's try again. Oh, well, let's go see Hal Jordan and we'll complete the rest after. So here's our friend Hal Jordan.
You've given Gotham City and the world hope by closing so many rifts. Thank you.
So sadly, Hal didn't give us any. Oh, I think I have a little chesty chest. Ooh. I'll take a look at that in a future video, I guess. Dark Knight's Metal #1 variant cover. I'm curious to see what it is. So Hal gave us some solid metal exobyte, which will be valuable to upgrade our augments. Some of the exobytes we get here will give us extra experience for the Dark Knight's Metal augments. But as you can see right now, I have to I still have to upgrade to break through with this one. So it'll take a bit. There's no rush in getting those just yet. So let's try and complete our other mission to defeat 200 and something evil NPCs. Now let's go where... Over here should be a good spot unless everyone is there.
Look out!
If not, we'll try to find a better spot, and we'll try to find our own spot. So we still have roughly 60 to go.
Run!
Oh, a Prometheum lockbox. Let's look into it. That's for a female. I'll take it from my female character. There we go. As you saw, those evil gifts are a trap. Sadly, Admiral Akbar is dead. He wasn't able to warn me. It's a trap! Poor Akbar. We will trade away. Let's see if it really is a bomb. Oh yeah. Didn't hurt too much, but it can be annoying in the middle of a fight. So avoid the Ritter boxes, and you'll be fine. And you can see also those big red vortices. You may want to avoid them as well. So I guess we need specific NPCs. Not every NPC seems to count.
Got to stop them.
So really have to make sure that we defeat the NPCs that are afflicted. It shouldn't be too big an issue. After a while, we won't think about it. It'll become automatic. But today, we have a bit of a learning curve, I guess. Although we're almost there. Let's help our friend here. So sometimes you'll share the objectives with other players. Some other times you won't. There's so many enemies where you have to do at least, I think it's like 20% of damage in order to be able to share the objective, especially for bounties. Evil gift tried to get us. What do we got lucky? Which reminds me, I should probably try those missions with a villain character. I'll try to do that over the weekend. It reminds me a bit of Destiny. At some point, Destiny had created a whole bunch of new enemies by just reskinning the ones they had. They created a race called the Taken. I think they were introduced in the Taken King, but I could be mistaken. And it was basically the same enemies as before, with sometimes a few extra abilities, but basically with a new skin that gave them a different color. Oh yeah, 200. Just 18 more and we'll be good to go. Often people ask me if quantum is a good power. I have to say yes. The one thing though is you pretty much depend on time bomb, and very often with a lot of enemies, like you can see time bomb over there. Very often the enemies will be defeated before time bomb does a single point of damage. You have to try to time it properly, and even if you do time it properly, it happens that sometimes you don't do any damage with time bomb. Especially if you play with other players. Other players won't wait for your time bomb to do any damage. So on certain missions, it's not rare that your time bomb will more often than not do 0 damage. Eons ago, when Quantum was a brand new power, one of the complaints people had was that they could not out DPS a Quantum player. But a lot of people failed to realize that Quantum depended on time bomb. So you just had to time yourself so that you would defeat enemies before time bomb would hit, and time bomb would do 0 damage. And when it does that, it would look pretty bad for players, for the overall damage of players. So sometimes you would have a Quantum player that would do very bad damage because someone like, let's say, an evil Magneto would defeat all the NPCs before time bomb would hit. So I remember way back when people would complain that Quantum was always on top. It wasn't always the case. You could find ways to make Quantum look bad. So if you care a lot about the scoreboard, you might be disappointed a bit with Quantum because you pretty much need time bomb to do a lot of damage to be able to be top of the scoreboard. Oh, so I guess we have to go see our friend Killer Croc. Did not remember that was the NPC I spoke to. I didn't play that many missions yesterday, so should have remembered, but I'm getting old. What can I say? Oh, there's our friend Robin here. Didn't notice him yesterday.
Oh, thanks. Fewer metal people means better eating around here.
Oh, let's take a look at our friend Croc. Exactly what's...
Yeah, you've done some good, but you could do more.
We can't see the objective. I'm so sad. So basically, it's a weekly. It costs 87 replay badges to unlock. So if you want to be able to play it more, sadly, you're gonna have to spend replays, or you're gonna have to be patient. And the same with our friend Hal Jordan. Pretty sure it's also a weekly.
The rifts keep opening. Seems like every time we close one, another opens a few moments later.
So sadly for our friend Al Jordan, it's also a weekly. Also gives you 87 replay badges. And let's see what we get in the little box that our friend Killer Croc gave us. Ooh, the Entropic Cape box. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna choose. The generator would be tempting. I'm sure I'll get it with some other character. And again, if you get to choose between item level 225 or max item level 239 or 243, you go for the 243 one. So let's go with that. And we even got a single theater chair. We got some sorter cola, which is useless for us, but well, what can you do? And let's already turn it into a controller cape because we can. And it's the dystopian Amazon. So let's try and see if we can have a quick look at the style. Oh, there we go. That's a nice looking cape. A bit torn up, but seems to be. Oh no, there's more than one color. So if you were looking for a new torn cape, let's remove the aura so that we can see it properly. It's a pretty cool looking cape. So obviously once I manage to get the whole style, I'll make a video about that. And that is going to be pretty much it for now, guys. So this weekend, expect a whole bunch of Metal Part 1 missions, or videos, I should say. So I'll play a whole bunch of missions. I'll try to make a video, at least one video for each mission. Although in this case, I made a video for the Hal Jordan mission and the Killer Croc mission. But I will also try to make videos from the perspective of evil villains, just to try to be able to compare the distinction between the two. Although from what I understand from some of the complaints I saw in the forums, sadly, like with some of the previous DLCs, there's not really much difference between heroes and villains. Here, the heroes and villains have to work hand in hand to fight the evil Batman who laughs and all the evil Batman from the Dark Multiverse. So that is going to be it for now, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. I do have a video called Ask the Question. If you want me to make a video where I answer questions about people, go ask your question in my Ask the Question video. Otherwise, you can ask it in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. So as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.